All right, what I miss? Hey, off-grid trading. Here at Off-Grid Trading, everything is a compromise. So we have good information, profitable transactions, lousy streaming software. So if you like what you're experiencing and you enjoy this frustration, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. So if you look at this 30-minute chart, you can see we broke today's high to make new highs, and then here's the typical topping pattern that we keep looking for, and a reversal. So we have a gap down here. Had we been together and paying attention, we probably would have taken that break to the upside. And then so what do we get? This might have been a trade that that poked us in the eye a little bit. 46 to 47. I can't really say that I would have taken anything off, but on that move, I'm certain I would have reduced my risk and gone to a break even on my stop loss. So we would have been whacked out. And then in seeing this double tap, I probably would have taken it and looked for the trade off, the sell off. But in anticipation of the sell off tanking down. But obviously, again, I was getting my software up when that happened. And now I've lost a connection for my software. So I'm hoping we're streaming. Are we streaming? I mean, I see it. Looks like we're up. Oh, got my software back. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you see us? Do you hear me? Cool, cool. Thanks for the input, man. Yeah, I'm like a lost puppy here. Um, yeah, now my internet's going in. My trading software is going in and out now. But okay, if we're streaming, we could still work through that. I think I would rather be streaming regularly than worry about my trading software going in and out. So okay, so we're chopping around here and we're just waiting to see what really happens, what's going on. Let's see if we could dig up some historical data. Okay, that last crash was again self-inflicted. I just can't get fancy with this thing. Um, it seems that once I start putting commands in, it's just too burdensome on our setup. But we'll work towards making that happen. Yeah, you hear me. All right, cool, cool, cool. So hey, we went back in. So you know what? Hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. My understanding, I know the subscribes and the bells will stay consistent, but my understanding is that we could keep liking me every time I crash out. Oh, my internet software has become my trading software has become unreliable. Such is life, eh? Um, so so we'll just talk a lot. I think I'm going to be a little apprehensive about taking a trade. 14.15. Yep, you just oh no, this is not the time. Are we looking at? Oh no, we're looking. Wow, June 21st. I'm already looking at. This month is just getting eaten up. Before you know it, the summer's going to be over. So there's a nice topping pattern. It looks like the market is testing. Oh, there's actually a bull flag on the 1 minute, and I know you can't see it. My software keeps going in and out, and we're just kind of staying here. Actually, I'm going to try something on that, which I'm probably going to be sorry that I did. But if that flag, oh no, which it looks like it's pulling back now. If that flag triggers, and breaking the high, oh, we're back in the pullback. Oh, this is just ridiculous. There you go. Okay, that's what the chart should look like. We're looking at the 30-second chart in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and this is actually an M pattern. It's showing us a double top, but well, you know what? That 30-minute is trading off, and yeah, that other screen was handy. And the 1 minute, the momentum is fading down, and the 2 minute, the momentum is turning bearish. The 5 minute is still very bullish. So I don't think that I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. If it breaks this resistance right here, you could take that trade. Right here, you could take this trade. And let's see if we could get this to test the close, the open. I've got to stop right here at 46.07, and if it kicks back, then I'm going to get out. But the 30-second momentum is very negative. The 1 minute momentum is very negative. The 2 minute momentum has turned and looks like it's beginning to become negative. The 5 minute momentum is rolling over. So, oh, don't take me out. See, I hate when that happens, if it whips back and forth. Am I out? Are you guys with me? Because I'm not looking at the screens. I'm trying to watch the markets. Yeah, we hear you. Anthony, did you ask me something? Didn't see it. Okay. Oh, looks like my stream just screwed up. All right, we're struggling to break through that area. Oh, Amazon's pushing up, which is not helping our case much. The composite's moving up, the Russell's pushing down. Come on, push down, push down, push down. Don't pop back up on it. I don't see any energy in there. It looks like the 2 minute is still, and I just lost connection. I'm trading off the 1 minute when that happens. All right, I'm closing this position because my service keeps coming out, and I'm making like 10 cents. All right, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I closed it. I followed that video I sent you the other day. Oh, okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. All right, I closed that position because my software sucks. But the looks like the market is oh, is it giving it back to us? Yeah, I'm not all that confident. The composite's pushing up. Energy should be dragging us down. Tesla just took a nosedive. Amazon just turned around. If you're in that trade, we just need the composite to turn around, and it's going to drag that down. Oh, here it goes. Looks like we're going to make that fill. I'm not going to make that fill because I can't keep my charting software connected. We're starting that game again. All right. So, yeah, my charts are loading up again. Goodness gracious. Um, Yeah, it's just not dropping. Really, what's screwing up this trade is the composite is testing the high right now. So when I'm trading, I'm taking my trades in the SPX, but I know that the whole market has to have momentum to make it happen. And the 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 Nasdaq keeps flirting with its highs, but every time it drops off, we get a little bit of a red move, yeah, a down move on the SPX. But now it looks like it's breaking its high, so that's going to turn around that SPX. So I don't know if you caught it before. I got out of the trade because my software keeps going out, and I just don't can't rely on it. I mean, I could execute no problem, but I won't be able to watch the trade and on a 30-second chart, and that makes me uncomfortable. So so no harm in not earning. Better you don't make money than you lose money. Dave, do you got a PO box over there? I'll send you some RAM. Got tons of computer parts. Since you don't have the Venmo up, that's the only way I can contribute right now. No, that's cool, man. Keep it in the bag. I've got the RAM coming. And I've got I'll swap out my Wi-Fi. I'm kind of excited about doing it. I built a computer before for my navigation for my boat, and I like delving into those things, man. I love things I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like the kind of guy to run through the neighbor's yard just for the excitement, and yeah, um, I guess if I was born in the 1600s, I probably would be an explorer. So, um, yeah, I ordered the RAM, and yeah, I'm gonna have that. It's just a matter of getting it here. I'm in the boonies, so somebody's got to load up their horse and ride on up here, and they can't even get up to the top of my mountain with the truck. One UPS guy was brave enough to try it, and I had to flip his truck back over with my tractor because he rolled it off of my driveway. So now they have an understanding that they could just leave it at the foot of the driveway and not make their way up. That brave young soul. Um, we hear you, Dave. Dave. Yeah, Cash App is blocked by my bank. Oh, is it really? I've never used it before. Somebody told me to use it. I'm gonna go kick that guy in the butt. Um, but that's cool, man. I appreciate it. Hang on to the loot. What you guys have done for me, just with the likes and the subscribes, and yeah, helping me get my name out there has been a lot. Yeah, this is a work in progress. I promise. Stick with me. We'll all make money in the market, and we'll get this channel refined, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to show your support. Um, I've already got a local free folk who's willing to work on my videos because I just can't listen to myself. Okay, I just put that trend line in, and I am bearish on the S&P unless it breaks that trend line. If it breaks that trend line, it's going to test the high. But what I'm looking for right now, and I'm hoping my software is reliable, is that this baby trades off. But you could see how long this trend is, um, and it's more of a consolidation, right? Because we have a high here and a low here, and then it made a lower low right here. and it looks like it's making a lower low. So it's in a consolidation, or you could even argue that it's a wedge. But I don't like evil Knieveling across these pivot points. So I'm going to look at that sloping trend line and what I'm calling resistance right here, and I might make a move if it takes a break one way or the other. And you could see with the length of this consolidation that the momentum down here is kind of changing. The picture's changing. And when I look at my 1-minute chart, working like this seems to do it best. When I look at my 1-minute chart, you can see this might be changing too. This might be ready to turn around. My 2-minute looks like it's turning around, and it's definitely a higher high, but we just started the day. So what are we into the day? Like, oh, we're almost a half hour into the day. Time flies when you're having technological difficulties. So here is the 2-minute chart. Actually, the 2-minute chart is looking very negative. It's making an aggressive move for this horizontal for this line. I'm probably not going to take anything until it breaks this low, although I do like that right there. You know what? I'm gonna buy some puts. I'm gonna look for the 42.45 puts, and I'm gonna put my stop right here at 42.45.22, and I'm gonna see if I can get this break, if I can capture this break. And for that test, the price I pay is just above this bar. So if this bar gets energy and keeps going, that's my risk. That's my stop. Okay. So now I'm moving my stop. I'm keeping a very tight stop because I don't want it to kick back on me. So now I'm moving my stop and I'm break even on my 42.45 puts. And hopefully this just gains momentum. I want to see if I could capture this gap fill and pick up 5 points. I'll probably be able to capture $3 on my put. So now I'm at a break even because I can bounce off of this low. It can kick back in my face off the low. Although the momentum on the 30-second is encouraging, the momentum on the 2-minute is encouraging, and the 5-minute has turned around and it looks like it's pushing down. I think I'm going to hit resistance around 42. So I'm taking I got $1.50 on it. I'm taking a third off right now. I've got my limit in. I just got hit on my limit. I'm a third off right now, and I've got 2/3 of my position at a break even, and I'm just going to leave it there and let this thing run a little bit. It looks like I got a little bit of resistance, probably at around, hopefully I could see like 41. So I'm moving my stop right down to this 43.68 on 1/3 of my position. I've got 1/3 stop up over here. So I'm going to leave 1/3 of my position right at the back of this bar on the 30-second chart where my vertical line is. I hope you guys could hear this. This is good stuff. And no, I'm buying my puts on the 11th, man. I'll use today's strike price, especially this time in the morning. And like I said, we don't have to worry about time decay because we'll be out of this trade in the next 10 minutes. You know, I'm looking for 41 as my next target, and I'm going to take another third off at 41. It looks like we're rounding out a little bit, but the 2-minute chart is looking really, really negative. Looks like we're building a bear flag on the 2-minute chart. I just hope it doesn't kick back and take me out. I mean, it can. I still have a third at break even. You know, it can very well kick back. What's the S&P doing? The S&P, the Nasdaq is building a bear flag on the 1-minute chart. So if that bear flag triggers, will be good. So here, if you follow my cursor, you see a strong move down, a strong move down. That creates the pole of the flag. Here's the consolidation, and that creates the portion of the flag. We're waiting for the next bar, which is in 55 seconds, and that next bar needs to push, bang, right here. And then if that, oh, don't trade back on us though. It's kind of testing the morning low right now. It might be doing an last kiss on the morning low. This is pretty good. This might be a runner. This trade might run for us. So we're making a test of the morning low, which is also the open, which makes it a very strong resistance point. And we have 28 seconds left on that 2-minute bar. I hope we get a good 2-minute bear flag, because that baby's going to run. Just don't kick back on me. Don't kick. Actually, I like the way this looks, so I'm going to take my second, third, and I'm going to move that stop back up to my entry, which would be right here. But actually, I'm just going to take a little bit to cover commissions. So at the 22.44, that's where. Oh, see, and it's a good thing I did. There's a kickback. That was the next 2-minute bar. This might be a head fake. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Could be a last kiss. I'm out. All right, so I made $1.50 on a third of my position. Oh, if that breaks that trend line, I'm going long the I'll go long the 45 calls. You guys understand the difference between limit orders and stop orders? If you don't, just shout out. Let me clear that up so you know how to manage these trades. And everybody, if you don't know this sort of information, you should be trading paper. And that's why you trade paper, because I mean you'll come across a bunch of things. Okay, so that's a bull flag right there. The bull flag is just triggered, and it looks like it's going to break that. It might break that high, or it might just chop around here. We'll have to see what it's given us. Yeah, the composite turned around, the Nasdaq, and that's what popped us out of that trade, and that happens from time to time. So you can see that bear flag, that bull flag right here, triggered, but it's not running. So if it breaks below here, we're probably going to have at it down there. And that was the head fake, man. That's what the market does to you sometimes. Not really. Okay, not really is the stop orders. All right, once we're out of this, tell us anyways. Come on, you could admit it, Anth. You don't know. Do you use trailing stops? Yeah, I do. I do use trailing stops from time to time. But you know, I'm here. I'm paying attention. I don't have to use a trailing stop. Um, but yeah, I mean, those are better. You know, when you're on long term and you just want to set it and forget it. You know. Yeah, you know what, Anth? You could get really beat up on a market order. If I want to get in, I put a limit at the bid, a limit at the ask. I'm sorry. If I feel, if you know, if I'm afraid it's going to run away from me, I go limit at the ask. I've even, you know, gone a little above the ask. Oh, okay, so this flag is about to fail. So we could be making another move for the bottom. But it looks like the 30-second momentum is getting positive. And I'm looking at the 2-minute, and this is my 2-minute chart right here where my cursor's dancing, or my crosshairs. And that looks like it's turning a little bit. So it doesn't look like we're getting ready to fill that gap. It's actually getting a little choppy. So back to that. Yeah, I'll go limit at the ask if I feel it's going to run away from me, or maybe a little above the ask. But I always go limit, because I mean, especially in options. I mean, those guys are very liberal with how they execute. Oh, look at that! It broke. It's testing the open. I'm not in the trade. I got popped out of it. I don't know if I'm feeling taking the break. Yeah, it's going to hit that 41 mark. Oh, it's testing the low and bouncing up off of it. I mean, you could still be bearish on this thing as long as it stays below that trend line that I've used. Does NinjaTrader automatically recognize when certain candlestick patterns happen? Um, does NinjaTrader? Well, you know what? I think they have an indicator that you can program certain patterns, and they let you know. They put up a signal, and I believe I saw that. I think you could program like a head and shoulders, and it's not even program. I mean, you could select head and shoulders, and you could select bear flag. So I think they have a function that comes with it under the indicator function. But I mean, every bear flag is not an entry. You know, you got to look at the quality of things. Yeah, and we're getting choppy right here. See, I mean, it didn't even give us a trigger below the low, but look, it's just racing back and forth. You know, and this is what it's been doing. Like it'll crawl up and then give you these big bars down, and then it'll crawl up and give you these big bars down. It might even grind its way down, but that's a hard pattern to trade because it keeps coming back at you and taking you out on the stops. And those are the things, these are the circumstances that make people grow disheartened on stops. Um, but you've got to work with your stops. Looks like the momentum on the 30-second is just flattening out. So it's becoming a hard market to trade. So you should have picked up $1.50 on 1/3 of our position when we took that first break. I mean, it's nothing to start tap dancing about, but at least it's a move in the right direction. Beats getting your stop loss hit and losing money. Yep. Yeah. See, that's called getting chopped up. There are times that I do reverse my position, but don't let that feeling that you're going to miss it uh, dictate what you do. And I'm sure you felt that anxiety in you, like I'm going to catch it here, I'm going to catch it here. Um, there's always another trade around the corner. Okay. Just that's got to be your mantra. So even if you miss that reversal, there's going to be another trade that you can get into. So try not to take poor quality setups. You got to say, oh, this is it. I'm going to take it. So, you know, like I said, I'm probably not going to take that break to the bottom because I'm just not feeling it. I mean, it's not talking to me like that. Um, the momentum is fading out. You know, the momentum on the two is pretty good, but right now I see a lot of resistance. If you look at my cloud, I know there's a lot of congestion right here, even if it breaks that. And if it breaks it, I mean, what are we talking about? Here's the gap, right? If you're following my crosshairs, here's the gap. You know, so it already did half a gap fill. That's all you could really expect out of a gap fill is half a gap fill. If it's a full gap fill, that's a luxury, you know, and that's why we harvest our profits in portions, you know, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, because we want to we don't want to be greedy and expect too much, but we also want to be there when the market wants to give us a gift. So now I mean, really, the market's got to fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Make new lows, and it's just not the way things have been lately. So I'm not really looking for that. I mean, I don't know that we're going to get much more out of the market today. You know, and we've been watching the S&P, and we probably, oh no, we didn't. You know, Amazon isn't giving much either. You know, Tesla's not doing much. So none of our trading vehicles that we're watching are really giving us anything. You know, which you could say that this dictates the whole attitude of the market. So unless we're doing something weird like BlackBerry or AMC, then you know there's really not a lot going on. And I'm looking at my other screens, and there's really not a lot going on. So again, it's another day that you're just like ho hum, ho of the hum. So what do we say? We're looking at 105s. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at something. Hmm. All right, I'm just trying to get a feel for the 60-minute chart, but I'm not going to oh yeah, that's good. I mean, oh, that's my center, right, on the day. Dink 155, so I like that. I'm sorry, I'm just entering an order. I'm still here. So yeah, I'm looking for well, yeah, now like 240 is not bad. I mean, we got 2 points in this trade, so I'm not really looking for this downside move anymore. I got nothing that's really telling me it's very negative. Although on the 30-minute, this is kind of, well, there's just no energy. But okay, so you have a good hammer. Actually, let me get something up so I know that everybody's with me. I have figured out how to stop. Toth. Okay, you can check out Coogan. Does Ninja Trader automatically recognize, but it makes you slower reaction time. What, the limit makes you have slower reaction time, Anth? I kind of load up my goals beforehand. Like I kind of know where it's going to go. Okay, actually, it looks like we're breaking that on the 30-minute. That's not a bad break. Um, if you look at the 30-minute chart, we have a nice hammer right here, and we're testing the bottom right now. It doesn't seem very motivated, and the composite looks like it might be turning around. The Russell's up 14. The Dow turned around, went a little negative. I could use a little bit of a pullback. I just don't want it to get too aggressive. Oh, looks like, man, I can't really tell what the composite wants to do right now. Tesla's pulling down, financials are moving down, energy's moving down. It looks like that's going to be a good break right there. But I don't know how far a run. Maybe we're looking at the 4240. If we could break through that 4240, then we're looking at 35. The 2-minute momentum's looking negative. The 5-minute looks like it's moving down, but a lot of congestion. A lot of congestion. When I say congestion, it means Zach MACD equals Mac Daddy. Yep. Yeah, the limit orders slow you down because of how you have to enter it. You're going to get more efficient with that too, so don't sweat it. Get accustomed to it. I mean, if you want to go market, but and you're not seeing it yet because you're trading paper, but there's going to be a lot of slippage in there, and that's going to be very, very frustrating to you. Um, so and yet it protects you. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with market orders. I mean, it's a viable way of trading. I just find my cost of operating, or my operating cost, is better when I put limits in because people don't snatch money from me. All right, so a limit order is what you do on the upside. So um, when you say I want to buy it at $5 and you put a limit order, it's I'll buy it at $5 or less. The most I'll pay is $5. That's a limit order. Or if you're selling it and you put a $5 limit order, you say the least I'll sell it for is $5, um, nothing less. When you put a stop order in, um, it it'll execute you when you hit that point. So if you put a sell stop in, um, we would be playing the puts, and if the price of the contract starts dropping to a certain point, it's kind of like stop my loss here. Um, so if the stock is moving up, you say, okay, if the stock's at $5, you put your stop at $10. You say stop my, and you're short the stock, you say stop my loss at $10. That's what the stop is for. I don't know if I'm really being clear in explaining this. If you're long the stock at $10 and it's moving up, you put a stop at $10. And if it trades back there, you're saying stop my loss here at $10. If you bought it at $10 and it moved to $20 and I move my stop up to 15 and it starts coming down, you're saying stop my loss at at that price. I'm sorry, I was reading another question. So I'll talk about it some more. I'm going to try to find a clearer way of explaining it. John M. Hey, John M. First time I've seen you out here. How you doing? Um, hey, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell. Um, So why do some stop losses execute stock price drops to target price? Execute before stock price. Is it because of the bid? Um, okay, so are you talking about on an option contract or a an equity? So on an equity, on a stock, yeah, it's gonna one if you put a stop in, if you're long a stock and you put a stop in and the bid shows that stop, you're gonna get hit. Sometimes it'll flash on the bid and then go and then disappear and nobody hit it. But the stop is going to work on the last trade. If the last trade is that bid and that bid is where your stop is, you're going to get hit. If you're looking at the chart, um, you may be the one who dips back and makes that low. When you put your stop out, that's a risk you take. If you're looking at options, when I say I put a stop in here, I don't physically put the stop in because options, bounce around more than the stock does. So mentally, I'm looking at the point where it is, and I'm anticipating what that price should be, and I'll take it right there. Sometimes I'll just take the bid when the stock moves to the price that I anticipate will be my stop. I'll just take the bid. Sometimes I anticipate what the price of the option will be, and I put my stop in, and I'll probably get hit on it. Even if the stock gets close but doesn't hit that goal. Okay, we're testing the bottom again, and we're breaking it, and we have the support of the Nasdaq, so that baby is going to move down. But the Nasdaq is still in a minor uptrend, so I don't think that this is going to run. We're already at that 42 point, which makes me comfortable that it's closed that gap. I think we may hit that cloud right here at the 42.40. I'm not in the trade. I made those few shekels over there, and it whacked around and bounced me out. So I'm hoping that I don't miss out on a dream move. Um, So, we could just watch this. Anybody still in this? Market order, I think, is you're buying at the ask. Well, yeah, market order is you're buying at the market. The ask is being represented, but if there's a lot of buying going on and it's pushing up, you may miss that ask and get the next order up. The next ask, and the ask can jump anything. Um, but they really can kind of stick you anywhere, and I've seen that when buying stocks. Yeah, they could do that, and they do it more so in the option market. And it's not that they stick you; it's just there's a lot of buying, and you're in line. Um, by the time um, by the time you get it gets to you, you don't know where the ask is because you're literally in line buying these stocks, especially when there's energy. So sometimes you just got to say, I'm done. All right, so this broke, made a new bottom, and bounced back like that. So there's really no feverish sell-off as of yet. We've got a 1 minute bull flag triggering. It just triggered. It busted right through the test, so now it's really pushing down. Um, and we're at the 240 point, which I think is the support on it. If it blows through that, then I'm looking at this chart, and we're looking. We're probably saying that cloud is a problem. Right here, we got the 8 and 13 period, and it looks like it's fighting with that right now. It's breaking through the 240, so this is a really nice move down right here. But it knocked me out, and say la vie. I didn't get to participate in this move. I just hope today's not a debacle day. Um, let's just watch this and see what it does. Um, oh, it's breaking through my EMAs on the 30. Not a bad move at all. What are we down? We're still positive on the S&P, and the composite's really not moving that much. The Russell's still up, and the Dow's not moving that much. It's not going to be a monster trade, but would have been a nice trade. Actually, just breaking on the 3, we got 2 points over here. Breaking our trend line looks like a 5-point move. Uh-oh, here we go again with the quality of my stream. My P&L for the day is down 2,300. Yeah, don't worry about your P&L, man. Yeah, that's what we do for a living. We make money, we lose money. You took those 2 trades and you got kicked in the butt with them. So now you know that you don't want to be emotional and jump all over the place. You just want to look for the right move. Don't worry. Don't ride that fear of you might miss the move. If you miss it, there's always another trade. Look, I just missed the move. So we'll just have to live with that. Uh-oh, S&P just turned negative. Let's hope this is not a big sell-off for the day. We're hitting yesterday's either yesterday's high or yesterday's low. Actually, let me lower this. It's hard to tell. This is yesterday's close. So we're just tapping through yesterday's close. Market is to buy at the market, wherever the market is. I mean, if you get in and the market's not moving strong, Zach, then you'll probably get the ask. If the market's moving strong, you might get hit above the ask. Lots of exposure here on this downside move. We broke yesterday's close. And I didn't get hit on that. Oh, these guys are just gangsters. I'm just going to leave that trade out there. Um, no, I don't know what the EMA is. There should be an EMA. Could be. I really, I'm not familiar with toss. I don't know, what that indicates. No, that's an Amazon 2-minute. Things are looking kind of negative right now. Oh, it looks like the 1-minute might be tapering out. What's that? The 30-second looks like it's rolling around. Really no bottoming pattern yet on anything. So this is a good. Oh, and the composite is selling off right now, which is giving that energy. The financials and the energy stocks are kind of consolidating, so that's not pulling it down. So Amazon's Nasdaq's making a move down, and that's dragging down the SPX. And we're getting a consistent move in the Russell and the Dow. Everything's kind of moving down consistently. Yeah, low dollars, so there's no panic selling or anything going on. Nothing to get upset about. When you look at the bars, it looks more foreboding than the move actually is. So it's around 10:30. We could look for a reversal here. How's that move? It's 48 to 38. It's only a 10-point move, not a lot in the reversal. I usually don't take a reversal unless the move is 14 points or 15. How's my video stream doing so far? It's telling me that I have a poor stream. But my computer, my charting software is pretty good. So made a single bottom. I wouldn't argue that that is the bottom. I bet we'll come and test that again and then see a turnaround. Looks good from my house. All right. Stream is fine. No chop. Yo. Yeah, stream is great. Oh, I must be on the wrong channel then. All right, we just tapped off of yesterday's close. Let's get that 30. So anyway, that was a move off of a 30-minute hammer. Everybody sees the hammer here, real nice long wick, little tiny body, even closed green, which is very encouraging. And then breaking that hammer right there, you take the trade. And if you just traded that hammer, you would have seen, I mean, it's not a monster move. It's not over yet, but you know, maybe it's a 3-point move. But the vulnerability in this trade is all the way down really to this cloud, but it doesn't look like it's that kind of day. We just rolled over and created a new 30-minute bar, so it could break this low and continue going. So it could be a trade if we break the low of the day to make and looking to emit a new low. If we do break the low of the day, which is the low of that 30-minute bar, then your first target would probably be that 36. And I mean, it's only 2 points, but I would take a third off there. And then my second target would probably be this EMA line right here. And I think it's a 50 period EMA. I'm pulling it up so that we know. I'm hoping to pull it up. So you can see the divergence here on the 30-minute chart. Oh, there we go. It is it's a 50 period EMA. So I have an 8, probably a 13, and then a 50. I'm saying probably because on different charts I use different ones. I just don't keep track of it. I write it down because I don't really retain that sort of information. So you could see the reversal right here, right? We made a higher low, and you know, theoretically, if the trend is trading right now, you could take that break, and it's going to make a higher high. And this is the perfect hour for it too. Around 10:30, you could usually see the market make a really strong reversal. There's just not a lot of energy in the market right now. And the composites in consolidation, so I don't think it's going to support the S&P. The Dow's down, but just kind of bouncing around. Russell is in consolidation, just choppy. Oh, there was a gap down. That's interesting. And it's making a new low. So that's pretty ugly for a 30-second looking chart. Might be revisiting that to make a move for that 36 mark. What's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? See, just that pattern alone, how it broke up that pattern, just shows me that it's just a real tired market. I mean, it's moving in an orderly fashion, but there's not a lot of energy or conviction behind any trade. And seems like everybody's just packing up and ready to go home. So as it stands today, we probably picked up about $1.50 a contract and then got slapped out of a nice move. But that is the market for you folks, except for Anthony, who thought he was at a casino and kept pulling the handle. Yo, that's good trading though. And EMA is estimated moving average. No, it's exponential moving average. Exponential moving average. Yes, that's wrong. It's exponential moving average. And hey, if I'm of any use to you, hit the like, hit the bell, hit subscribe, drop me a cup of coffee in that Cash App down there. Keep coming back because we are going to continue to add content. I think I didn't get word yet, but I think that little educational piece is out there and dropped on. on the site. So if you want to keep going over pivots and trends, you could always hit back and check that out. And oh, oh, excuse me. And check that out and just reinforce that sort of information. And everything I'm talking about and teaching, I'm going to try to put out in short videos that are clearly titled so that you know what you're looking at, and it becomes good value to you. And you could start making money on the trades. And every day I'm just here trading, and you'll see what I do. Sometimes I think yesterday it was that we had a really big day and made lots and lots of money. And today, yeah, it's just going to be a little plus day. Um, and yeah, I'm fine with that, man. I'm fine with that. It beats a poke in the eye. It looks like we're making another move for that bottom. But again, it's all very rigidy, and yeah, will probably get slapped out. And I hold true to my disciplines. So, this is just not a trading day for my personality type. Yeah, some people will widen their stops or take bigger stops. I don't do that. And once you put your stop in, do not move your stop. Yeah, always be in the habit of saying, this is what my risk is, and this is what I'll take, and you pay that price. And sometimes, it hurts, and sometimes it helps. And you will find, um, there will be times that you say, thank God I had that stop in. And those thank God days are the days that take people out of the industry, that eat up all of their capital and send them back to work to try to build up capital for another account. And that's all you need. One of those days and your career's done. Even if you were plus, for the year, and you harvested that money and used it and lived off of it, that one day could take you out of the industry. Or sometimes the day doesn't take you out, but it eats up all of your profits and you're behind for the year. But yeah, Uncle Sam and the electric company don't want to hear that. They still want to get paid. So you're paying your taxes, you're paying your electric, you're paying your rent, and you're taking a beating. So the stops are valuable. And without good risk management, you're just not a professional trader. And trust me, this is the voice of experience. Exponential. Yes, I'm sorry. I have a Brooklyn accent, a New York accent. Um, so, I mean, just Google it, man. Exponential moving average. So slow. You bet. You bet. I'm happy to do it, man. Or female. Think. Boy, that's slow. It took me a long time to get that that chat in there. Yeah, look, I mean, we're just chopping around. I mean, who would be unless you're just eager to make money? That's the only reason why you're entering a trade right now. I mean, who's encouraged to take a trade with this kind of movement in the market? I mean, the market just moves. When it's time to trade, the market just moves, and you don't have to wonder, is this the right trade? I mean, it either moves against you and you're out, or it moves and you're making money. Um, So that's a topic I'm sure is on a lot of minds. How much in your option should one start trading with for it to be worthwhile? Um, that's a personal risk issue. You have to only you could assess what you're comfortable with. Whatever you put in there, it's got to be something, especially when you start. It's got to be what you're comfortable losing. So once it hits that trading account, you have to be comfortable in the idea that you'll never see it again. Um, So, and that comfort level is going to change if you're smart enough not to jump the gun. If you're smart enough to sit back, trade paper, and get confident in the manner in which you use your software and you're in and out, because people have already said they're having a hard time executing or it's slow and things like that. So you have to be a software athlete, and you're confident. Oh man, did you see that? It just tanked. Did somebody say something? Let's go to the news. Probably CNBC said market's flat today, and then bang. See, that's scary too. When it tanks like that and then it doesn't keep running, that could be a run on stops, which they're just knocking people out. Um, I mean, G7 is looking to heal the wounds and build the relationships. So that's a pretty positive thing. And then they're all um, on that kick of taxes. I don't see any news that would have caused that. And then it just stopped. Yeah, I hate that. Like if I'm in a play in a trade and I see an aggressive drop like that, right away I tighten my stops, because you could see a quick return and get slapped out. Yeah, or if it pops and I like what I got, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that profit. Because it does this, and this, if you're looking at the 30-second chart, this could be a last kiss on the low, this low right here. So yeah, we could watch that. But after that move, I no longer feel that this market is trading in an orderly fashion. So yeah, I'm more inclined to back away, and I back away quickly after I'm plus and I start seeing things that I don't like. So I made a little bit of money on a third of my position this morning, and I'm more inclined to be a big sissy than to keep taking trades and making this a, a negative day. Man, you would think they would have hit me on those spreads. Nope, bunch of sissies. Um, so let's see. That New York accent, yes, sir. That New York accent. Yeah, I heard it last night in the recordings. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And it's funny. My mother was an English teacher, so you could imagine what my upbringing was like. Constantly, constantly correcting. You get it's a personal risk thing, but starting with 5K or 10K account, possibly to grow towards 100K, is there a hard limit? You go have 50K minimum to start trading. Um, no, man, just don't exceed your capabilities of the account. These trades we're taking, I mean, what are we talking about? Let me open this up and see um, what this trade cost me per contract. So where's the market right now? 38. So if I'm looking at a 240, it's $500 per contract. If you took 3 contracts, you're tying up $1,500, right? And that's not your risk. I mean, that's really what your investment is. If you have a 3-point stop loss, you're talking about $300. So a $5,000 account, a $10,000 account can support that kind of trading, as long as you are responsible with your risk management. You hold your stops. It's very easy to wipe out a $5,000 or $10,000 account. If you're irresponsible and you back away from your stocks, or you do what everybody says, double down, and that's a casino term, so that has no place in trading, right? You don't buy into a losing position, you don't lower your cost in a losing position. You put your stop, you get executed out, you let that thing continue to get losing, and then you buy it cheaper. So if you can have that self-discipline, then Yet you can open an account with $5,000 because you're going to tie up $1,500 in your first run. Yet, I mean, your risk is going to be $300. You can only do that 10 times with a $5,000 account. So you need to sharpen that pencil and sharpen your teeth and make sure that before you start trading cash, you're comfortable with how you're trading and you like how you're trading. And trading real time is still different than trading simulated because they're being gracious to you on the simulated. I mean, there's going to be times that you don't get executed or you get lousy prices, and it's going to mess with your head, change your psyche on things. So, conservative is your friend. You know what I'm saying? You want entertainment, you want crapshoots, go for the Reddit plays. But yeah, professionally, I mean, it's just like running a business, so you got to look at it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't know I had a New York accent either, and still till I started traveling. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I've been all over the world, and one thing I found is that foreign women love New York accents. And I heard 100 times, "Ooh, I feel like I'm in a Robert De Niro movie." So, yeah, the accents can lend to, except when you're in England. Well, the women in England like the accent, but yeah, men always had a problem with it. But I'm not too concerned with what men think anyway. I'm gonna move this 30-minute chart. Good chart though. I always like that though, and I've heard it so many times. I feel like I'm in a Robert De Niro movie. I think the first time I heard it, I was with some guys down in the bayou, and we did some business together, and they took me down to the bayou in this big airboat, and these guys were crazy, and they know I'm from New York, and they know I'm in the financial industry, so they had these ridiculous preconceived notions of me being a party animal, which yeah, I don't mind a good time, but yeah, I, I'm more a businessman than a partier. And so anyway, we went out, and they had me out for days in New Orleans, and then they threw me on a boat, an aluminum boat, and took me into the bayou, which was absolutely amazing. And we were hunting hog and alligator, and I mean, everybody was just absolutely out of their mind, and nobody had any business around firearms, that's for sure. um, and it was a blast though. But they're flying on this beautiful, like, $200,000 aluminum boat, flying through the bayou. It's all pimped out. They're blaring rap music, and this was like one of my first hunting experiences. And we couldn't see anything. And I was like, "Look, I'm no expert, but when I watch Discovery, everybody's crawling through the woods. You guys are running through here like a bunch of pimps with this music cranking." So we turned down the music, started having successful hunting, but they kept me out for days. Um, and then they said, "Let's go to Dine Living." It sounded like they had heavy accents, and I had no idea what they were saying. But I mean, they kept me out for days and didn't feed me. And I thought they said, "Let's go Dine Living." So I'm just thinking, okay, this is a restaurant called Dine Living. And what they were saying is, "Let's go to Dying Living." And it turned out that it was this outside bar club in the middle of the bayou with all these Cajun guys. And I mean, it was a phenomenal live band and everything. And the drinking just continued. And I swear to God, I thought that is how I was going to die, in the middle of the bayou with Jack Daniels in my glass and a bunch of chicks dressed like Daisy Duke dancing around, which actually in hindsight doesn't seem like a bad way to go, but I couldn't wait to get back to the hotel. That's my story of the day. I'm asking because personal risk level is 25,000. I would be willing to risk 25,000 after paper trading for a while. Okay, but you know what? Just by what you're writing and looking at, it looks like you're being too eager. That's cool if that's your level. That's cool. But again, I mean, you have 2 days in a row of very green trading. Big nasty paper trade losses. Well, not big. I mean, but you're down 2,800. Where I'm up a buck and a half a contract. So not a bad way to go. No, it's not a bad way to go. With Ben Affleck. So yeah, man, just don't rush it. I know you want to make money, but I promise you, the market's going to be there when you're ready. And there's always another good trade around the corner. And this thing is just chopping its way down. And we're down $2 for the day. Yeah, this is not a market I'm trading, man. This is just grinding its way down. It would have knocked me out had I taken different trades. So yeah, not a market I'm trading. Yeah, so don't be eager, man. That's good. You got 25K. Let's keep it 25K. After paper trading, that's right. When your teeth are sharp, you know what? That's a good portfolio to start trading with. 25,000. That's good. I mean, obviously you want millions, and it makes it easier. But oh, here we go, another leg down, and the composite is kind of supporting this move. Tesla's down. Everything's down a little bit, so we could squeeze out a living, but I'm not willing to risk money in a market that I don't feel comfortable with its trading. Guess we didn't really get that reversal, and it's 11 o'clock. And hey, you know what? We're streaming pretty good. Okay, I think that other monitor was too burdensome for what I have going on. So I'm going to tweak this computer, and because I had the monitor on yesterday, and we had that horrific experience, and today. So it looks like we're massaging this in the right direction. Default minimum contract is 10 on toss. That's a lot of money. No, you could set your defaults. So you have to go into your general settings and set your defaults. I promise you, you can execute one contract. So go in there and take a look at that, and figure out how to do it. But that's why you're paper trading too, so that you could learn how to use that software. Not a bad way to go. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I am in no rush to start trading real cash. I'd lose it all. Well, yeah, and you know what? It's so much pressure that it'll mess with your psyche, and then you won't mentally be prepared to trade properly, and it's just going to slow your progression. You're much more at ease when you're on paper. Aside from the fact that you're eager to make money, but you're much more at ease. You trade much better. You grow your situation awareness. You'd be surprised when you're trading cash. You're so hung up with what you're losing. You lose that situation awareness. You don't learn from your mistakes. You just keep looking for ways to make money. And it's just a terrible, terrible cycle. If you want to stack the odds of success in your favor in this career, you just take your time, be comfortable, and learn to trade like it's a video game. Then you could throw the money on the line, and you better not be hanging on to that money. That money better not be important to you, because it's not about preserving your capital, or it's not about your quality of life, but it's about your mental health. If that money means something to you, then it's going to just beat up your mental health, and it's going to be a stressful experience for you, and you'll either drop out, or eventually, or you'll blow up your capital. So yep, you got to be comfortable, man. You got to be comfortable. You got to be mellow. You got to lay back. You have to not care. And I genuinely do meditate. I meditate before I get in the market, and I calm myself. um, and yeah, this is David Calm. So yeah, you got to watch that. So here the market's coming back on us. The composites retracing a little bit, rebounding, shall we say, bouncing, if you will. It looks like momentums are turning upward. The 1 minute's turning up. The 2 minute still in a bearish pattern, but rolling around. And the 5 minute is bearish, but it's not. It's not an orderly bearish. It's very it's just very dramatic, very extreme. It just doesn't look very orderly to me. Although it's a consistent down pattern right now. I mean, as far as the 30-second goes, I mean, we talked about trends, so let's just reiterate some trends. think, and here it is. If you follow my cursor, that's a high, that's a low, that's a lower high, that's a lower low. Here's a lower high, here's a lower low, here's a higher high, which is a little um, compression. Here's a higher low, which would make you think that we're looking for a higher high, but then it trades off and makes a lower low. So yeah, this area right here, we can call this compression because it just traded within the high and the low, and then traded off, made a lower low, and here's a lower high, continuing the trend, and this looks like a little compression that began again. And right in here, we compressed a little bit, and then we traded down to make a lower low, lower high, a little bit of compression, and then a break to make a lower high, lower low, and everybody can see clearly that we're in a downtrend right here. And right here, what do we have? We have compression again. We're getting into a little compression area, and we could call this a channel. And it looks very erratic, like just not orderly, like what's really going on here. This aggressive move down and then aggressive move up, and which for me, I'm just saying, here's my channel. I'm making here, that horizontal line and the low. This is my compression area. My line is not precise. My intention is to have it on the low right there. This is my compression area. So now I can decide, what am I going to do here? And you can see this trend line that I started earlier, and we're still below that. We could make another trend line that comes more in line with the trend, but overall I'm bearish until it breaks this line, and I'm thinking that we're going to build a big compression in between this trend line and that trend line. Don't get too hung up on it. It's just pretty pictures. I mean, just worry about the trends and the compressions and the breakouts. See, and we're just consolidating in this area. Looked like it was going to build a head and shoulders, but yeah, that might be a shoulder. It would have been another shoulder, but then it broke down. And if you have to look for a head and shoulder, it's not a good head and shoulder, right? The pressure is on when it's actual. Yes, it is. Channel. Don't understand. I've heard that called bar coding. Well, that's obviously a new term because we just created barcodes. But no, it's a channel. I mean, yeah, it's clear. And you know what? I mean, if you read any book about charting, you will see the term channel. I think you'll be hard pressed to find the term barcoding, um, or at least I've never seen it before. And I like to read lots of stuff. So anyway, here it is. It made a low here, and it's making a high here. It keeps testing this high, and it's an elongated pattern, so that's why I would call it a channel, right? I talk about bottoming patterns, right? So this is kind of cheesy, but here's a low right here, and here's a low, and here's a low, and here's a low, meaning on the bar chart, and then the momentum. So we look for that bottoming pattern, but this is dragging out so long that the momentum is just dragging out. So it's too long to be a bottoming pattern. So it looks like a channel. So it is a channel. It falls under the classification of a channel. If it was a short, like if this was the bottom, this was the bottom. Are you following my cursor? If the bottom was here and then the bottom was here, that would be a bottoming pattern, and then it would change direction. But now it's just consolidating inside this channel, and it's just going back and forth, and it's kind of figuring out what it's going to do. And the next move is one of two things. I mean, one of three things, really. I mean, it could continue in this channel for the rest of the day, which I say that's highly unlikely. But what's more likely is that it's going to break out to the upside, or it's going to break down to the downside. So what we want to determine is, well, we don't want to determine which one it's going to do. We're going to act on what it does if we decide that there's a trade in it. Again, I mean, I'm not too encouraged with what's going on. I mean, there were some moves in the 30-day chart, but nothing I could really catch. And you're not catching every move that goes on. the 30-minute chart. From the time it broke that 30-minute, not a bad, yeah, well, you know what, we're at 37. It broke at 41. You know, you're talking about 4 points. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not the volatility that makes us a lot of money. So it's cool. Um, you know, we would have picked up, if you traded well, you would have picked up a few shekels um, in the opening move. And now you could just look for a high quality trade. Looks like we're going to try to test that bottom. I've got a divergence on the 1 minute, although the 2 minute is looking rather bearish, and the 5 minute is looking rather bearish. And the composite is kind of supporting the move down. If the composite breaks its low, which it's getting close to, then it could drag the S&P down a little bit. But it doesn't look like anybody wants to commit to that right now. So I ran out for breakfast this morning because I was just starving when I woke up. And while I was eating the sausage, all I kept telling myself is, this is not cooked. Okay, here we go. We're making another push, which is interesting. We had that bar up, and now we're kind of really aggressively pushing for that low right there. And I really should be able to get that trade off. So the composite is actually supporting this move down, so we may break this low to make another low. But I don't know if this is really a fall apart situation. Although oh, that's Amazon. Okay, that doesn't really count. Let's get some cloud on this 30-second chart and see if we could get a good target. Looks like I'm going to be a little too slow to take the trade if it turns out to be a good trade. So if you guys are new to us, this is off-grid trading, and basically I'm hiding from society, and I'm making money, and I'm living a nice, good, clean life with lousy internet and unimpressive software and hardware, and making a living. And that's what I'm trying to teach everybody over here. That's what I'm trying to teach the rest of the free folk in the world. So if you like what you're hearing, hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. There's a Cash App in the description if you want to send us a few bucks. Just Amazon will overtake Walmart as the largest U.S. retailer in 2022, JP Morgan predicts. Yeah, it sounds logical. Well, you know what? Walmart was slow to the game. Amazon got aggressive in online selling, and I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago, Walmart just began, and they missed the boat. You know, they could have banged out Amazon when Amazon didn't have the capital to compete with Walmart, but they stayed old school. Yeah, you know, you never lose faith in Walmart either. I mean, they'll come around. Look at this move. They're really trying to figure out if they want to break this low or not. You know, I mean, if you look at the 1 minute bars, they're really. It's like it looks like a big fight going on between the bears and the bulls right here. Look at that. And these are inside bars, and it looks like we're breaking that inside bar to try to break that low. Oh, and look at that, it rejected it. Yeah, man, there's a battle of the bears and the bulls going on right now, and they're trying to decide, are we taking this market lower or are we turning it around? Blackberry is just boring Blackberry. AMC. um, AMC's up a buck, just kind of hanging here. That's encouraging. I mean, we're close to that gap, but it doesn't look like it wants to get aggressive and go fill that gap. And it's close enough that it would be encouraging to go fill that gap. That's a good sign technically that it may hold in. Um, um, so anyway, I'm sorry. I'm talking to people on a text, but I'm not driving. That's a good sign, right? When I'm calling you. And there it is, baby. We see who won that fight. But, you know, it's a 2-point drop. I mean, how do you make money doing this? Let's see if it honors that cloud. That would be interesting if it popped back. Gink. Yeah, it's probably going to come back and touch the cloud. It's just not a lot of energy to knock it down. And it looks like, what time is it? 20 seconds. Okay, here you go. You guys like hammers. There's a hammer on the 2-minute. Looks like the hammer's building. Nothing's a hammer until it's done. You don't really judge a bar until it closes. Closes in 7 seconds, 6.5. Looks like a good hammer though. So that's it. That's a reversal bar. And in order for it to be a reversal bar, it has to do what it just did, which was break the previous high. So now we have a reversal bar. And if we look at the momentum, we created a new low. And we call that a divergence because here's this low, and then here's the low of the momentum, which shows a lot of momentum moving down, and then this traded down but didn't make as big a low. So that's a good indication that that's going to be a good hammer and a reversal pattern. And like we said, I think that it's going to come back and hit the cloud. So it should come back to about 37, right? So there's really not a whole lot of money to be made in a 35.85 to 37 move, right? When it hits the cloud, then things get vicarious. It's just not a risk I'm looking for. And we've discussed before that it's rare that markets make single bottoms. So it's probably going to come around, make another test, and then be on its way up. Be on its way. So we're jumping back into the channel that we broke, right? We talked about the channel, the consolidation. It's going to break one way or the other. We know that to be the case. It decided to break down, but now it's turning around. So if it broke down and turned around and breaks this channel here, that's a very good indication that this market's going to turn around, go positive, right? Because technically, the bears got a hold of the market and said, we're breaking this market down, and they just didn't have the strength or the buying power to do it. The bulls got a hold of the market, brought it right back up into their channel. If they have the strength, they're going to break out of this channel, pretty much going to scare the bears away and just keep on moving. And that's what this is, these charts. This is just a battlefield. And you can see the war going on here. Bears fighting, bulls fighting back, bears kind of losing steam, bulls, they're kind of dancing around the ring, then the bears get a hold of it and get aggressive. And now the bulls had a little something up their sleeve, and there they go, man. They're making the move. And it's a single bottom. So it keeps guys like you and I out. Algorithms will pick that up every time, computer trading. But, yeah, for us to do it, forget about it. We'll be taking trades, every hour, every 15, 20 minutes, trying to catch a single bottom. But look at that strength in that baby. She running. That's a 4-point run right there. You could pick up $2 on a contract on the run. On the 2-minute, right? You could see this move down. We could say maybe it's building Head and Shoulders, right? So this right here would be the first shoulder. It's an inverted head and shoulders, by the way. When there's a head and shoulders on a move down, it's inverted. When it's a head and shoulders on a move up, it's a head and shoulders. So here, this could be a shoulder. This would be the neckline. This move down would be the head. It comes back up, should touch up here, ideally. But if it turned around right here, that'd be a fine head and shoulders. You really don't want it to break it. So it'll come down, should come down again, make another shoulder at this level, and then once it breaks the neckline, that's your entry. So we could just watch it and see how it plays out. You're still hung up on a channel? So would a channel be flat trading? Yes, a channel is consolidation. So this this right here is the channel where my lines are. See, right there, right there. I mean, this line is white because it's over another indicator, but this line to this line is a channel because it's not trending, right? So you're either trending up or you're trending down or you're in a channel or a compression. And that's what we went over yesterday. So if my free folk dropped that video on the website, go over that video again. I'm sure it'll be there by this weekend. Look, we're about to break through the top of the channel. So the fact that we just moved sideways this whole time makes it a channel. I think that the term flat trading might be misleading because it's not flat. It went from the bottom of the channel to the top of the channel to the bottom of the channel. And because it took a long time to do that, we called it a channel. Otherwise, it could be like a bottoming pattern and then break. But yeah, this little period of grinding away here is a channel, created a channel. So it made this low right here, and I literally put the line there when it made that low. And then you could see that before it broke it, it came back right here and tested that low, rejected a little bit, and then made that move, bang, right through that low. So those two touches right there make that a very good resistance, which, yeah, we'll talk about that in the next lesson. And then it rejected off of there, and it gave us a good sell signal by breaking that resistance that it tested twice. And that was a perfectly legitimate entry right there. It's just the nature of the market. I didn't take it because there's just no follow through on entries. So look, we're fighting our way up to this channel and a perfectly good to the top of this channel. And now that it just tested that made it even strong. It went up as far. It doesn't really have to touch it. It's within the spirit of things that we're looking for. And it's rejecting from that area. So if it fights its way up again, probably a good entry. It's just the market as a whole doesn't have that energy to start moving. In a very energetic market, which is consistent with fall and winter, it'll break that and run 10 points, and we'll pick up a quick 5. I'll take those trades. But in a market like this is what you get. This break on the bottom, and then it turns around and does something else. So I mean, for this move, if we took it, would have been 36 to 34. Maybe we could catch $1.50 on it. I mean, to think we would catch the whole $2 would be absurd. But I'm not here to trade for $150 a contract and risk my money. I like $300 a contract. I mean, then it's just worth my while. And those days happen. $500 a contract, $750 a contract. I mean, and during the winter, those days happen often. So I'd rather just wait around and wait for the right season. See if I could do some income trades that are conservative. Oh, which I got mine off today. Cool. And I'm in the game. I'm in the mix. So I'll do that, and I'll just wait for all the probabilities to stack in my favor. And when they do, I'm taking crazy trades at the proper size and making good money. I just don't have it. Okay, hopefully. Hey, Anth, let me know if I've cleared up that channel thing. If not, I'll try to find another way of putting it. Just in Amazon, it would overtake. Okay, nobody's really talking to me. I don't want to talk to you either. So let's just clean up my charts, get everything organized. I think I would like to work until about 12:31, watch the markets, and then call it a wrap for today, so that I could just get to setting some things up. I have a good teaching plan for our next session, so I just want to refine that a little bit so I'm a little smoother, because I didn't even like my presentation aside from my voice. So, and well, so I think we might call it a wrap, and well, Fridays afternoons are sometimes slow, so this will give me a chance to refine a few things. I do not think I'm going further off the map this weekend, because I want to dedicate a little time to the channel. So I'm going to stick around. When I'm comfortable with my software and my internet access, then I'll move. I'll head out to sea and see if I can't mess things up again. Mr. Anthony, lots of input. I appreciate it, man. I like these questions. So if anybody's sitting in the background, don't worry about asking a question. No such thing as a bad question. Happy to do it. And uh, thanks for dealing with all of the inconsistencies in the software and the technology. This is life off the grid. So if you're going to make a living off grid online, you're seeing it real time right here. Your charting software craps out and things of that nature. So you try to find a little redundancy and see how you can protect yourself. But yeah, you're getting the whole experience, making a living from anywhere you are, anytime you want. I do believe that I'm going to stick some blues in my ear because it sets my mood a little bit. And I know I won't be really taking too many more trades today unless I see something super. So I won't mind um, that I'm slightly off. And blues is good for the soul. You guys won't hear it because I'm worried about copyright issues. Oh, and we start off with a little Jimi Hendrix. Oh, I just got an email from my free folk, or a text from my free folk. They couldn't find the video yet, so I'll square that up with them tonight. So, um, uh, Miss Carey. Oh, that's still the Amazon issue, Miss Carey. You guys can hear me, right? Because I mean, I'm getting good streaming indications over here. It seems like everything's working out for us. I think unloading that big monitor was the key. It's just I have the studio software and the OBS blocking some of my charts, my longer term charts, and I had hoped to work without that. Mm-mm-mm. Had to take a cat out of the toilet. Yeah, that can be a problem. I can hear you. Thanks, Gary. So, are you clear on the channel yet, Anth? Okay, no response from Anthony. That's cool. We'll say he's good. I am out of coffee. The pot is empty. Oh, and I left my water in the house. All right, we'll chill out a little while. Mark is just doing nothing. Anything? If you explained it, I missed it. Yeah, yeah, I did, man. But I'll tell you what, I don't mind going through it again because maybe I could refine that explanation. So give me a second, and we'll have at it one more time and see how it works out for you. I'm glad the weekend's here. I need to catch up with my life. I just threw this little activity in of being online with you guys, and it was out of nowhere, and just blew up my life. Not blew it up, but oh, okay. This is actually an interesting chart. All right, there's a delay. Um, all right. So if you're around and you're paying attention, um, so you could even see a very broad head and shoulders right here. So, okay, a channel. You could see right here, even based on my line, that we are in a trend. Here's a high, here's a low, here's a high, here's a low. Just keep following my cursor. Here's a high, here's a low. So we trend all the way down, right? And then we stop our trend and we just start moving sideways. And we move sideways for a long period of time, and that's a channel. It's that simple. Here's the high, here's the low, and it goes up and tests the high, tests the low, just goes back and forth. And then we broke out of the channel, and now we moved back into the channel. So we had this aggressive move down, and now we're moving back into the channel, just consolidating inside that channel. And that's it. It's a channel. Yeah, so you add a channel or compression or consolidation. You create a channel when you have consolidation, and you put two lines there, and you say, okay, here's the channel, and you could set up a breakout um, just based on the channel. You look for that breakout, that breaking move, which is what we saw right here. Boom, that's the breaking move. Now, what's interesting is you have an inverted head and shoulders at the end of this trend, right? So we moved down, made this low here, moved up. So I called that a neckline. We had talked about it. It created the head. Here's a neckline again, and then came down. So the neckline, you could draw a line from the high of the neckline, and you don't have to be too precise. You stay within the spirit of it. And you could take the break of that line, or you could wait for it to break the high of this right here, where my cursor is, which is the top of the neckline of the right shoulder for the inverted head and shoulders. It would have been better if it traded off and broke right here. So this, it's just losing energy for what it is. It's just flattening out the momentum. So it's not even a trade I would take. So you're going to see head and shoulders and things like that. But based on your momentum and your feel of the market, you're not going to take every one of them. But you're going to see some that have a lot of energy. If this didn't um if we ignored the rest of that and it broke right here, I would have taken that. That would have been a really good head and shoulders, and I would have anticipated a move up to this trend line, and then to this stop, and then that, to my various targets. Or really, if I have my wits about me and paid attention to trading, I would just put my fib in, and I would trade my fib. I would trade my targets according to my Fibonacci. And like we said, we're looking for the 50. Probably have most of our position off at the 50, with maybe a runner looking at the 61. And I'm pretty sure that I would close my position out at 61. And look how interesting this is, right? Here's the high, here's the low. We put our Fibonacci in, and the natural retracement of 60 is right at the open of the day. And the open of the day creates good resistance. Oh, you get it now? Cool. I'm glad I can get the point across. So the open of the day creates a fairly good resistance. Um, I mean, there's no coincidence how these things work. And if you look at some of the fib lines, they are at different areas. Like this 33% is this is like a previous open or something. I can see a line under there, and you can see the little consolidation where it bounces off of it. So yeah, that just reinforces the value of this. Look, there's a low right here that's stopped around the 50. Um, and if you go up, the 68 is right by the open, and the 76 goes right to this consolidation, and then here's the 100. So you could see that the value in Fibonacci, it just it the and you could see that the symmetry of the market and how the market moves. Mhm. If you even looked at this area right here, it's just interesting to me. It drops down and it hits a Fibonacci line of 55, and the Fibonacci line didn't exist at that point because it's a Fibonacci of this whole move, and that's why the extensions have value, because we know Fibonacci has value. But this area right here moved down and created a bottom right here on the 55 line, and then it ricocheted up, right, broke up, but closed right on the 76 line. You see where my cursor is, that bar right there? It closed on the 76 line. And then, consolidated a little bit and then came back down and closed on the 55 line, turned around and tested that 76 line. And the 76 and the 55 didn't exist because it wouldn't exist until we completed this Fibonacci. But these ranges existed, and there's a reason these ranges existed, and then it was related, or it relates to where this run ended. It's just really interesting to me. Yeah, the mathematics of it, and this is how algorithms are built. They understand these patterns, and they could extrapolate what's going on in the market and kind of sense where the changes are quickly, and boom, you have computer trading. But it shows you the value in using the Fibonacci, which will cost you nothing, and is included with all of your platforms, and everybody's using them. Nobody's buying those golden bullet indicators, except new guys who are looking for an easy way to make money in the market. That just does not exist. It's knowledge, understanding how to read the charts, and good self-discipline and risk management. So what are we going to do? What's this market going to do today? Oh, that's cool. It's only down 30. I'd like to see it push up. Push up, baby. Let's close in the green. And we'll all be happy. And AMC, stop bleeding. It's up $1, not doing anything. Like I said, that gap is kind of support right there. They're flirting with it. Could go either way. It looks like an inside bar today. We shall see. We shall see. That's interesting. Yeah, it is interesting, man. I love this industry. It seems a tantamount to mystical to me. More word from the free folk. I think I goofed it and I didn't use the right email address. The, so from 1102 on the expanded chart, 1102. Think, yeah, that's a break of the trend of the channel. Okay, so the trend breaks in the channel, right? Here's the trend. The trend is consistent all the way down, and it trends down into the channel, and that channel is a break of the trend. Okay, and it's consolidating. Then it breaks the channel, which in essence the trend continues, and you'll hear the term continuation pattern. Um, but the trend continues right here. But then it was rejected and sent right back up into the channel. And what's it doing now? Think. Oh, look, it tested. It's testing the top of the channel. It broke the neckline, what we called the neckline, but we negate that because yeah, you know, the head and shoulders just fell apart. It didn't continue in the head and shoulders. But now we've broken through the top of the channel, or we're at it right now, and it's ready for a move up. I mean, this trend line, I leave them there. I mean, really, nobody's trading this line. I just find it interesting that it does that things usually um, consolidate a little bit around them and then keep moving. But I mean, I wouldn't trade the break of that line or anything. The this trend line that's going down over here. Yeah, you know, and the security moved far away from that trend line that it doesn't matter. I hope I'm not confusing you with all of that. But yeah, you know what is important is that we broke to the upside out of that channel. And we can kind of anticipate that eventually that was going to happen because this was a strong move to get us back into that channel. And we know the bulls are out there and they're pretty dominant. The S&P looks like it's giving us a good push up, but I don't really see support in that move in the NASDAQ right now. And the Russell is just kind of dragging, and the Dow is down a little bit. I don't see what the trading pattern is in the Dow. Get in right there on a long call. Um, I don't know where right there is. At the 1102 break to the downside, or get in at the break of my trend line that I said really is not that substantial. Um, I wouldn't take that trade. I mean, don't look for every run. You're gonna, you're gonna leave more money on the table than not, but you're gonna take quality longs. The long breaking the channel is a good long. I mean, there's hundreds of reasons why to take that long breaking that channel. Um, but the quality of the market is not encouraging to me, and I don't really expect big moves. And if we look at a daily chart, ding, 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 ding. Why? Let's see why I don't. If this actually supports, yeah, we're actually we we have an inside bar right now. So this is yesterday's bar, which was a pretty aggressive bar. This is today's bar, which is an inside bar. At the moment, you can't really count it as anything until it closes. But we're just moving around inside of yesterday's range. So there's a lot of congestion areas inside yesterday's bar. So it's going to inhibit our movement. The real trade is if today we break yesterday's high. Once we do that, there's no congestion. Um, we could just keep on keeping on. You know, then you know you're gonna get amounts to move. But trading inside of yesterday's bar, fighting all of yesterday's congestion, is just going to give us those menial moves that we're seeing. Um, so so that's why I'm not running to take trades. It's just, yeah, you know, there's just going to be no movement. If we break up here, you know, which may happen this afternoon, I'd be inclined to take that. If we push all the way down, I'd be inclined to take a break of tomorrow's low because, yeah, you know, then you know it's smooth sailing. Um, I don't. I mean, we're we're still in an uptrend on the momentum. You know, it's getting a little weak, it's getting a little flat, but that'll happen because we got the Feds next week. So you know, I don't know how exciting this market's going to be for the next week because the Feds are talking on Wednesday. So I mean, Monday could set up a flag. You know, this could be a flag. It could consolidate here. We could have a break of this inside bar and then a run up. Could be. I just think we're going to chop around a little bit. You know, it's just a boring time in the market's life. And this is every season like this. I mean, this is how it is during the season. You know, and when it's cold out, then you could look out. Oh, this is such a burden. Oh, oh no, I'm not even on there. All right, so this is encouraging, man. We know that I can't have that big monitor on. We can get a better quality of stream if I don't burden the computer with that. So that's cool. So really, once I get that memory, that'll probably just allow me to get that monitor on, or maybe we'll keep it off and just make my OBS a little more efficient. So I went long right about 11:27, candle reversal. Okay, cool. Let's break that down. Um, let me get rid of that. Let's see what you did, Ant. Since you're the only one who's willing to talk to me. 11:27, bank. I don't know what you're calling a reversal candle. What I'm seeing is a test of the channel, and then we broke that channel, and that's a very good entry. And I would have put my stop right down here. It's a big stop, but I would have put my stop there. That's a good entry. Again, it's the climate of the market that I don't like. So then we pushed up, and it looks like we test this. Like I said before, it's a last kiss. So now we're wondering where is this going to go? And isn't it interesting that this trend line is having an effect? I mean, it's not substantial. It's not something you trade off of, but you know, it's interesting that it's there and it has that effect. So, okay, so 11 candle reversal. The reason I took the trade is because it looked like it was hitting the bottom of the trend, and to me looked as if it was reversing. Was more of a test trade. Okay, so when I see something's reversing, I back it up, right? So right here, this is a little big, but you know, I see it hits, it makes a low, I see the low, it pops up, I see another low here, and I say, okay, you know, my momentum just went bullish, and on this red bar, I'm going to take a break of this red bar. So you know, that's how I see a reversal. How do you see a reversal? I put my stop at 288 and it triggered, made 200 bucks. All right, cool. Beats a poke in the eye. At 11:27, what was your entry price? I went long right about 11:27. 22.88. How many contracts did you execute? 22. Oh, is that a 38? So I guess you just got knocked out on this dip back. But if you took this break over here, that's good. Um, I mean, it was a retest. Really, you might have gotten lucky. Um, you should have taken the break here at 38, and then you know you have this to contend with. But this is a good move. I mean, it was a half channel. I mean, um, you could argue that it bounced off the midline of the channel and ran up. 10 contracts. Oh, 10 contracts, you made 200 bucks. You picked up 20 cents on 10 contracts. Not really what you're after. Did you make 200 a contract or 200 bucks? Oh, your sister's ass. Okay, cool. Haven't changed that yet. Total 210 contracts is just the default. Yeah, you got to change that. All right, so you picked up 20 cents. I don't know. I mean, it's a good trade, in that, um, you had good discipline and you put your stops in, and you decided on an entry and you took it. Yeah, so we could say that's a good trade. But again, that's why I'm not trading, because there's no move. I mean, I'm not trying to pick up, yeah, 20 cents, risk my money to make 20 cents. So so but good lesson for you. Just make sure you can clearly define. And if you're taking a trade because it feels like it's going to turn around, you're going to get hurt. Yeah, you want your rules. You want rules, and you should write these down. You should have a book like, this is what I'm going to do. You write down your plans. The other thing we haven't talked about, but is important, is you log every trade. Or I feel like I have mentioned this, but I know a guy, very dry guy, but he develops trading setups, and he logs every trade, the reason he took the trade, and he calls each setup a particular name. Yeah, which is like a breakout or a reversal or what have you, so that he knows what setup's working for him, what he doesn't. Keeps very, very good notes, and looks back on them all the time, and slowly develops his trading style. So that's really important. That's something that everybody should take into account, that you want a good trading journal. And there are actually spreadsheets out there that people sell that are very good. I just write my own spreadsheet and do it. But you log the time, the day, yeah, the reason, the profit, the weather, every factor that you could put into it, you log, and you can determine what your strongest setup is and what your weakest setup is and things like that. Look at that. Now we just moved back into that channel. So it looks like we're just favoring that channel. And that's cool for me, man. If the market does this for the rest of the day, I'm happy. I don't want to see any debacles. No debacles. 7 connects, 6 likes. Like me up, baby. Like me up. If you like what you're hearing, hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. And if you care to, there's a Cash App at the bottom. You could throw us a few bucks and help us get some people working on this channel to improve the experience. Um, we have some educational videos that I'm going to put out. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. There is no such thing as a stupid question here at Off Grid Trading. So ask your questions, get your answers. Let's get everybody trading right. There's a nice bear flag right there. And I'm just going to keep reiterating them so everybody gets used to seeing them. So move down, strong move down, little consolidation on the green bar, and then a break of the flag. It went and it tested the pivot low, which we talked about. That's the test of the flag, and it rejected. So now it's interesting. The flag fails at the highest point of the bear flag. So the flag fails at 42.37.84. As long as it doesn't break that, I'm going to stay in that flag and play it. And it's starting to look ugly. There, boom. I would have been out of that trade and lived to fight another day. It could go anywhere, but that's not what a flag should do. And we're going to play the flag. And, a few of them are going to lose, and a few of them you'll get knocked out and they'll keep going. But for the most part, in the end, based on laws of large numbers, you will be net profitable. But this is just a good consolidating market, and I'm happy to see it. 200 total. I haven't changed it yet. That's a good idea. I should start a trading journal. Yeah, man. Everybody who trades should write it. I tried a trading journal. I mean, I have my same trade, so really, it's not a matter of me cultivating a setup, but I just make sure that my head stays consistent. I look at all my variables, and I'm not getting sloppy. Um, and that's important. You want to do that. Look at that, going right back. Oh, look at that, it gig stored. I wonder if this thing can handle it even better. Better CPU too. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Is there a trade to be had while it's bouncing around in the channel? Okay, so if let's see, the channel is 236 by 238. So there's 2 points in that channel. If it's bouncing around, what are we going to capture? You know what I mean? Um, So, I mean, so in this channel specific, I wouldn't trade it. But you could have a 30-point channel, which is not uncommon. And then every time it hits the top of the channel, it'll create a topping pattern. And then you know that if it breaks, it's going to break to the bottom of that channel. So yeah, I actually like that trading because I could just trade right inside a nice channel. And a 2-point channel is not um, common. I mean, even for the day, what are we talking about? What's our trading range for the day, right? Oh, actually, it's not that bad, right? We got 48 to 34. So 14 points for the trading range for the day. I mean, that's a fairly decent spread. But what I would like to see is a 14-point opening range. So if the first half hour we get a range like that, and we could call that our opening range. And then you'll have days that it just bounces between that 14-point opening range, and we'll just make money back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If it runs a whole range, we're going to pick up $7 a contract. That's $700 a contract. I mean, that's money. That's what we want to do. But we don't want to throw our money down to try to pick up, half a buck and a half. I mean, that's silly. You just get chopped up. Yeah. I mean, it may fly. The stop would be like $2. So we're risking $200 to make maybe $100. Doesn't make sense. I don't want to do that. I mean, even if we took the trade right here on that a break because it just created a little resistance right there. But if we traded that resistance, you look behind it, and wherever it looks jumbled right now, because my chart is squeezed, it has to fight its way through that. It could get rejected at any one of these jumble marks. So I mean, just too much. It's just nasty. Just too much risk for me to bother to trade it. I don't want to have to see if it breaks all this to make money when I could find a day where it's got this whole range without all this jumbledness, in it, and some decent move. I hope I answered the question. What settings do you use for my MACD? Yeah, just go with the default. You don't have to get fancy. I mean, it all tells you the same thing. Hmm, 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 hmm. Just nothing going on in the market. I'm just looking around and seeing what's happening. Russell 2000's up 10 points, coming off of a low right now. Composite NASDAQ is up 11 points, and it's just trading in a range. It's very range bound. Looks like S&P, it's down less than $1, and it looks like it's just grinding around in the range. You know, I just hope it closes well. We got no debacles, and you know, everybody's just quiet and waiting for that Fed meeting. Quiet. Even close up a little bit. One tens, 125s, 100 and change. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And what did I get? 90 cents. Just keep on keeping on. I'm kind of talking to myself. I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta do all that later. All right, so like we said, we're probably going to wrap things up around, well, you know what? It's 12 o'clock. So is everybody feeling satisfied? Um, Anybody have any questions or stock you want me to look at? I was thinking of wrapping it up so that I could work a little bit on my infrastructure here, but I just feel like hanging out. Haven't heard from CB4 Canes in a while, although we did get a comment out of him last night. So I guess he's just lurking in the shadows. Hopefully he's still hanging out with us. Anybody else out there? Any newcomers who hopped on? John M. It doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of people hanging out with us today. Oh, Miss PR Yeti. I didn't even realize she was with us today. I see Tell Us. And we haven't heard a peep from PR Yeti since. Zach Attack's been very quiet. He's probably doing push-ups because he's going to be hanging out with his shirt off. Is there a group Discord? Yeah, you could watch later. All right, cool. I don't know. I almost feel like I miss you guys when I say, should we wrap up? What have you done to me? You've made me a codependent personality. Given us a lot to chew on. I'm researching trading logs now. All right, cool. All right, good. So if you have some quality stuff to digest, then we could wrap this up. I could work a little bit on the infrastructure. I'm not going to head offshore this weekend. I'm going to stay up here in the mountains. This way I don't throw any more problems into the mix. See if we could get this. This was a pretty smooth day. We had a good stream and only a few debacles in the morning that we worked out. And I think it was this monster monitor that I had burdening this computer. So I'm gonna see if well, I'll just not use that and you know, tweak this guy a little bit more, and we might be in good shape. So it's a wrap. Let's call it a day. Everybody enjoy their weekend. Stay safe and healthy. Um, I appreciate you joining me, and good luck trading.